Let's take a look at transformations. It's basically how we're going to move things on a coordinate plane, but today we're going to take a look at one very special type of transformation. It's called a translation. What is a translation? Well, translations happen when a point or a group of point, like a shape, are kind of slid across, and they can go left or right or up and down, any sort of combo like that. The new points are actually called a prime. So if we translated a point that's called point A, and then we put it into the new spot, we're going to call it A prime, but we're going to put a little apostrophe right next to it. So what's that look like when we take a look at number 1 down here, and we need to translate point P 3 units to the right and 8 units up? Well, again, it's this idea that we're going to slide it left or right, up and down, and it tells us to go 3 units to the right. So if you start with where that point is originally and then start counting blocks, see how we can go to the right 1 block, and you can see how it actually would slide the original point over here 1 spot, but we've got to go 3. So 2 slides over another spot, 3, and now we've got to start bumping that up 8 different units, right? So if we go up 1 block, 2, 3, you get the idea. Once we get up to 8 blocks higher, we have translated point P to its new location, and we don't call it point P up here, we're going to call it P prime. Okay, it's P with an apostrophe, P prime. Now over here on number 2, they don't just tell us with the words what to do, they want you to kind of figure it out. And this is called arrow notation, but sometimes they'll do this, and they'll say, hey, can you take this point, in this case U, and would you please translate it 4 to the right? How do we know? Well, your x-axis runs right here, and if we add 4 to a number, it's going to push us over to the right on a number line. So if it says plus with the x, we're going to go to the right. So U needs to go over 4 to the right. And then we've got to take a look at what it means with this y. Well, here's your y-axis going up and down. If we're adding, then on the y-axis it's going to increase it. So we're going to go up, but we're going to go up 7 spots. So now we just got to move this u prime spot up 7. Now, a lot of times I have kids that will only move it 4 to the right, and they'll put a u prime here, and then they go and they put it up here and they put the u prime there. This is what your paper should look like after you're done. Here's your u, here's your u prime. Okay, so just use your pencil and then just count the blocks, and then when you get to the final spot, that's when you actually want to take the time to put the dot. And then also always, always, always make sure that you're putting the letter and the prime right there. That way it's proper format. So what happens if it's going left and down? Well, there's Z. Let's go 4 units left. So we're just going to move it to the left. And then what about 3 units down? Well, watch how it's going to start coming down. So did you see that right there? There's the Z prime. We're moving it 1 down. And now we can continue the count onto the 3rd unit down. There's your Z prime. So what's it mean if we're looking over here at x minus 7? Well, that means that we need to take this u and go to the left 7 spots. And then if it's y minus 2, again, that's your vertical axis that's saying please go down 2 spots. So 1, 2. I'm going to back that up. See how we went down to 1, 2. What about moving the entire shape like this? Well, the key is that on number 5, they want to go 4 units to the right. And if you looked at it all at once, we're going to move the entire shape 4 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1 unit down, and it comes down. Now, sadly, on your notebook papers, you can't move the whole thing over like I did. But it is going to be the same size. It's going to be the same shape. Nothing changes on it. Okay. So how's it going to be done on your paper? Well, let's go over and use this one. You can see right here that x minus 4 would mean we would go which direction? Hopefully you're saying left. So we got to go left 4 spots. And so I would take one point, it doesn't matter which one you start with, I would take one point U and go 4 to the left, and then what's y plus 5 mean? It means we go up and then go up 5 and place that point right there. Then come through and choose one of the other points that you haven't done yet and do the same thing. So let's go use T, 4 to the left, and then up 5. Place your point, and then come back and do the last one, 4 to the left, and up 5. The last thing that you need to do is just connect all of the points together. Again, though, you can see that this triangle that we made is the same size that we started with. So this translation is going to do nothing about changing the size. It's just going to move something from one point to another point in a series of left, right, up, down movements. So what's a transformation? It's basically just ways that we're going to move things on this coordinate plane, and we looked at the very first type today, which was translations.